Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man. It's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to Cocktails. Dirty discussions with Kiki and Medina Monroe. Yeah.
Okay. Today's cocktail is called a oral fixation. So the ingredients you need are an ounce of vodka, a half ounce of coconut rum, a half ounce of creme de banana, 1 ounce of pineapple juice, and a half ounce of cranberry juice. The way you're going to make an oral fixation is you're going to shake all the ingredients with ice and pour in a glass. Garnish with an orange wedge and a cherry. Sit back and get your pussy ate. I'm just playing. Enjoy it.
Like, wait a minute, girl. What? Welcome back to Cocktails or Discussions, you guys. I hope everybody is hanging in there. I didn't think we would be locked up this long. Well, actually, I did. I was just kind of hoping I was wrong. It has been so long since we have been out of the studio, not going to work, since March. It's practically June.
That's March 16th.
This is the craziest thing that I've ever seen.
It's crazy. And even though they're opening states back up, did you see that a new wave hit China?
Yes,
and now China's about to shut down again if they haven't already.
That's exactly what's going to happen here, because people, and I'm not excluding myself, but people are doing all kind of social activities. They're going out, hanging out and everything. And I was talking about it earlier. I was like, I'm selectively social distancing, to be honest. And I think a lot of people are. I was really going crazy. Like, I'm over this. I want to go home. I want to see my family. I would like to go do something besides sit at my house or sit at somebody else's house. I want to go do something, but I'm also scared to go to like super public places. I've gone to people's houses and stuff like that, but besides the grocery store, I'm not going to any restaurants, bars, lounges, none of that. Have you?
I've gone to get a manicure and a pedicure. I've gone to get a wax.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I did go get a wax.
Yeah, I have gone to Del Frisco's. I don't have any regrets, though. I did go to Del Frisco's and Dantana's. Only 2 restaurants, no club, and no like super bar like setting. Oh, wait, I went to a restaurant on the lake. I've done a couple things.
Like, oh, well,
here's the deal. I wasn't always doing it. I was doing a good job of social distancing. And honestly, in the beginning, I was only around my brother, my nephew, one of my neighbors, and you, and other people. It was very small, but I too felt like feel like I'm going crazy sometimes, and I just am like, well,
yeah. I'm like, listen, when I come around people, I'm like, okay, so that just so you're clear, I mean, I haven't really been around too many super new people, but this is what I've done. If you feel uncomfortable, I get it, but I'm just letting you know. But I can't just sit in here all day, every day. And I'm also tired of people like going off online about what people are choosing to do. Like, you yelling at people online isn't going to fix the problem. What do you think that's going to do? They're just going to stop reading it. Like,
look,
come on, don't stress yourself out. And try your best to be careful, and just don't be around people who aren't living the way that you want them to live. Anyway, so what's been up with you?
Girl, I just been out here living my little life. So talking about how mentally we're like, dang, I need a break. I was like, I need to get out of the house. And this was before the pool opened up. That has
That's
given
your place?
people that's just like a place. It's a pretty place. But before the pool opened up, I was like, I got some of my girlfriends together and I was like, why don't we go to a park and put our bathing suits on, pack up the hookah, let's pack up some food, let's bring some drinks, let's lay out our beach towels and have a whole thotty in the park, bruh, right next to the playground. I was talking to Carlos. He said, y'all gonna get arrested for public indecency.
Okay. When you told me that y'all were going to the park and wearing swimsuits, I was like, huh? I thought about coming not to be in a swimsuit, but just to get out. And then you were like, oh, it's that same park. I was thinking, after a minute, I was like, wait, there's a playground with the little toddlers trotting around.
The good thing about that park is that it's very private. So it's never super packed.
Mm-hmm.
So we were good. Like, we smoked hookah. There were police there, but no one came to kick us out. It was totally fine, and it was freeing, and it was so much fun. I felt like I was at a video shoot.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I've just been kicking it, reading. I'm still trying to finish Cuddy's book, The M Man is for Money.
Mm-hmm. How's that going?
Oh my God. It's going good. I got to take it in doses, and I'll probably have to read it again. I'm a slow learner. I have been doing a lot of nature stuff. Went to the lake. Girl, I'm just out here. I'm just out here trying to stay sane. What you been up to?
Well, you invited me to a game night last week. That was an interesting experience. And so that was probably the first time in maybe I take that back. There was one other time. So the second time in like a month or so that I've actually done something social that wasn't at my house. So it was good to get out of my house and be in a different space. Just looking at something different, even if it is somebody else's home. It's nice to not be at home. Let's see, what else did I do? I went to a pool party at my friend's Boo's house. I don't know if that's her boyfriend. I don't know what's going on, but we went to his house. He has a pool at his house, and he was like, you guys can come over, you can grill, do whatever you want to do. So we went over in the daytime, but then he had a whole bunch of people over later. So we left. It was getting a little too thick, and I was like, oh, no. It was cool when it was 6 or 7 of us, but now it's time to go. So that was fun. I had so much food left over. So I had to freeze it because I'm trying to make better choices. I feel like I say this every week, but this time I think I'm serious. I'm not sure. We'll see. I did that. Yeah, I think so. And then what else did I do? I'm starting a book club. So,
oh my gosh, me too.
Really? This one is open to the public. And we will meet via Zoom. I'll put a link if you want to sign up for the book club. I'll put a link in the description box of the episode. And then when you click the link, you can see the book that we're going to read. By the time you hear this, I will have decided. But while we're recording, I don't know what we're reading yet. But we're going to read all kind of different stuff. We'll do Zoom meetings. You can be anywhere in the world and get on and join the book club. And then once things open up, I hope to be able to travel to some of the cities depending on where people are and do the meetings in person. I'm trying to think of what else. I guess that's really it. Just trying to get into a routine. I had gotten so out of having a routine. I was just waking up whenever. It was kind of fun for a little while, not having to worry about anything. I still work during the day, but it's super flexible. And just kind of doing what I want to do. But now I'm like, okay, I need to wake up at a certain time because I think that is causing me to go crazy too. And it's just too much. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to.
I feel you on that, girl. Y'all, don't forget that this Thursday, when you listen to this episode, we're also doing a Patreon live Q&A. It starts at 7:30 to 8:30. You do have to be a patron to be a part of it. It's going to be fun. Get to know us. We'll get to know you. And come turn up. Take a shot on your own dime, but have a shot ready.
I'm going to be drinking shots of water. We'll see though, because that's a long time to be answering questions. Okay, so do you have anything else you want to tell people about before we move on?
I don't think so.
Okay, so now we'll move on to weird sex.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time of day it is that you're watching this. This is a weird sex news report from my beautiful home.
I have just finished recording a few bonus episodes. I hope that you guys are signed up on Patreon to catch all of the bonus content. Patreon.com/cocktails. Now, I'm going to tell you about a man in Maryland who, I mean, all of this just sounds so fake, but I promise I got it from a news site. So I'm just hoping that they didn't get got by a satire site because this just sounds way too good to be true. So, Sean Lamont Brooks, 47, of Lexington Park, was arrested on Wednesday, May 13, 2020, and charged with a fourth-degree sex offense and committing a perverted practice. Court documents say in the winter of 2019, Brooks engaged in sexual contact with an adult male victim without the victim's consent and committed an unnatural and perverted sexual practice with the victim. What was the practice? Listen here. So, late September to October, he was getting his hair done or something, and he's talking to his friend. He was like, pick me up from this spot. I got a girl for you. I'm going to introduce you to her. She says she'll suck your dick at the park. So he's like, okay. So the dude picks him up. He was like, I'm gonna take you to her. So they get to the woods or whatever. They're sitting on a bench. It's dark outside. The guy disappears with a backpack, and then he's waiting, and then this woman comes up. And then she comes and she's like sucking his dick. And then the guy made himself come, or he finished, or however you want to say it. Uh-oh, my cards are flying. It's been a long day. The victim realized that, in fact, it was not a woman. It was his friend, Sean Brooks. The victim said he became scared and faked an orgasm. The victim said the person walked away back into the wood line. And a few minutes later, Brooks reappeared from the woods. The victim advised he was still unsure at this point as to what exactly happened. Therefore, he made contact with Brooks again and asked if he could set up a second meeting with the girlfriend. And a few days later, he met up with Brooks at his residence, where he was supposed to be set up with a female. Brooks told the victim that if things worked out, he could begin getting paid by these women to have sex and oral sex with them. Brooks told him to go to the bedroom, and several minutes later, he observed a female-looking subject emerge. Wait. Oh, okay. The victim said he witnessed Brooks go into the bedroom, and several minutes later, a female-looking subject emerged, that he recognized this female to be Brooks dressed as a female. The victim advised he left the scene and no sexual act took place that day. The victim advised he consented to the oral sex, but the consent was given for a female, not with a male. That to me sounds like he's trying to say that he had no idea, and this is just like, what? Like, I cannot imagine this ever happening. Anyway, when police made contact with Brooks, he said he knew the victim. And upon further questioning, he confessed that he took the victim to Lancaster Park and dressed up as a woman. Brooks told police he went into the woods and changed into female clothing, obviously, put on a wig, and gave the victim oral sex. Brooks also admitted that he was unsure whether or not the victim knew that it was him and not the female. Y'all are out here doing some crazy shit with your friends. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, now let's get back to the show.
Okay, and now we're back from weird sex. So we're going to play a game. It's just Medina and I today. And we're going to play a little game of Would You Rather. I took a lot of these questions out of my Pick Your Poison game. I love that little game. There is some weird stuff in there. Like, some of the stuff is really disgusting. So I try to pick some of those in different ones. So first question, Medina, would you rather have a sexless marriage or never get married?
I think I'm going to go with, that's kind of hard. It's like, do I want to get married and then we're never going to have sex, but then I can cheat on him and still have sex and still be married? Or just never get married and just be doing this for the rest of my life? I'm going to actually go with a sexless marriage.
Oh my God. I couldn't do it.
Because I'm not having sex with my husband. I'm having sex with somebody else.
I figured that. I would just hate to cheat on my husband. I'd rather never get married. You know, you could have like a long-term relationship and just never get married. It doesn't have to be you hopping from dick to dick or whatever. But okay, your turn.
Kiki, Would you rather watch Two Girls and One Cup with your grandparents or constantly think about squeezing your butthole because losing focus causes you to poop everywhere?
I'm watching Two Girls, One Cup with my grandparents. They probably won't even
Definitely.
want to watch the whole video. One of my grandparents can't even see. All he can see is little splashes of light. So yeah, definitely watching Two Girls, One Cup with my grandparents. I'm not thinking about pooping or squeeze my butt, and if I don't, I poop. Hell no. Okay, would you rather have one man take a dump on your stomach, like a poop dump, or 10 men come on your face, gangbang
10
style?
men come on my face. Absolutely. That's the one I'm going with. I like anal, but I don't think I could handle like you taking a big old juicy dookie on my stomach.
Ooh, I'd rather the dump on my stomach
Okay.
because it might be solid.
Would you rather give your mom a dildo for her birthday with a note that says, "Dad will always be with you," or find a video of her on your favorite porn site?
I would rather give my mom a dildo with a note. She's going to laugh about it, add it to her collection, and be like, girl, I'm not worried about your daddy. And that'll
I was
just be
just about
that.
to say, she already got her bag, her suitcase, luggage, her carry-on.
Right. Okay, that was my last one. Do you have another one?
That was it.
Okay. So moving on to our discussion today. So I came up with a bunch of like different things that have just been on my mind lately. And I want to know, do you feel like you have been, have you been having sex?
You know, I've come close.
Okay. So do you feel like,
Kiki?
yeah, can you hear me? I'm here.
Okay, no, I don't know if you said anything else. I paused because I didn't know if it froze. But so, I had sex at the beginning of quarantine.
Okay.
And I don't really remember it because I got really intoxicated.
Ooh.
I've had a little bit of oral, but honestly, I've been like, damn, I feel like I keep getting ghosted. So a bitch trying to protect her feelings and her pussy.
Okay, well, do you feel like I'm taking that you masturbate a lot then if you're not having sex with anyone else?
Girl.
Do you feel like you've been getting more creative with the stuff that you're doing to yourself or like the porn that you're watching?
So I've kept my porn on the lesbian category. But I found myself looking up like rougher porn, like way more. Normally I like sensual, like lovemaking types of porn. But lately I've been like get to the point porn. Like I don't need.
So what are they doing?
Girl, choking, putting fists in booty holes, like putting like fisting vaginas. Like normally I'm not really into all that, but I have been needing that lately to get there because when I use my vibrator, I start on a very high level. So it's like I need to already just be in some rough shit.
I told you have to ease into that before you fuck up your clit. Oh my God. Well, y'all know I've been having sex. And I've been masturbating a lot. I've been like, I don't know what it is about being in the house all the time, but I've just been incredibly horny. This is weird that I've started doing. And I don't know what happened to me one day and how I got onto this. But okay, so one day I was just like thinking about stuff I want to do in life, right? And the things I want to buy and like milestones that I want to accomplish. So I've never really been super into traditional vision boards, but I like to see other things. So for example, I have the Zillow app on my phone, right? So I put in a search and I save the search. So every day it's sending me new listings. So these houses are like multi-million-dollar homes and they're really, really nice. So every day I wake up and I'm seeing what Zillow has sent me. I always have a little alert on my phone. So I'm scrolling through the houses. I pick a house that I really, really like. And I go through the pictures. I'm looking through all of the rooms and I masturbate and imagine that I am in the house and it's my house and I'm fucking different people in all these different fabulous rooms, and I just cannot wait until I can buy one of these properties. But I feel like I've watched so much porn. I'm searching stuff. I'm recognizing videos, and it's like, okay, bitch, get off of Pornhub. You're doing too much. But yeah, so I have been looking at houses and using that as the backdrop to the vision in my head of me having sex with whoever, or me just fucking myself.
That's different. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's real
I don't know how I
different.
got there. Something is wrong with me. I feel like I don't know why I am just like trying to have sex almost every single day, but that's how I feel. Now, I don't have sex every day, but every day it's like a way more intense desire to have sex.
Mhm.
And that's how I ended up fucking all these people. And I've just got to.
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm jealous. Like
Why?
I wish that I was having. I used to have such like a amazing sex life, and during quarantine, I had higher hopes for myself. I had higher hopes for my vagina, and
It's
that
not
shit.
too late.
It's not, but it is. It's like we're about to come out of it. You know what I mean? I
Are
mean, hopefully.
we? Are we? Because it's not seeming like it. Like, girl, if you want to get out there and fuck somebody, you should fuck somebody. I don't know if you need to call somebody up from the past or if you want to have somebody new. Now, only one person was new during quarantine. The other two that I slept with, they're old. But it's always a good time. So, you know, I had to do it. And I plan to do it again soon. I don't know. I thought I was
I've definitely
last Thursday, and it didn't happen. And I was very upset.
Wait, what?
I said I thought I was last Thursday, but I didn't. I was very upset. I was at the game night too damn long. I should have left. Maybe that'll be my cocktail. Maybe that will be, so I can tell y'all what ended up happening. Okay. I want to know. You said that you went to Dantana.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
I was just about to say, oh, well, we're moving on to quarantine and chill. I definitely went on a blind date.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that.
Yeah, I was just looking at the notes that I put on the side. I definitely went on a blind date. Okay, so here's what happened. One of my mentors, shout out to Miss Williams, she hit me up one day and she was like, Dean, I want you to do something. I want you to meet somebody. And I was like, oh, Lord. You know, when people say that, you just be like, oh, Lord, what's wrong with them? It don't never go how you want it to go. So she's like, there's this young man. He's one of my sorority sisters' cousins or brothers or something. And she was like, he just moved out here and he's just trying to meet new girls. He really wants to date and he hasn't been meeting the type of woman that he wants to meet. And I was like, well, what type of woman does he want to meet? And she was like, someone like you. Okay. And I was like, okay, I'll go. I don't have anything else to do. I said, I will definitely go. She's like, well, do you want it to be like a traditional blind date or do you want to see what he looks like? I said, if you send me a picture of what he looks like, I'm probably not going to go. I'm going to find something wrong and just be like, no, I'm not going. So honestly, the less I know, the better chances we have of possibly connecting and me not canceling. So she's like, okay, cool. So the whole time I'm thinking that he knows what I look like. I'm like, she probably told him about me and he probably went to my Instagram, whoop, whoop, whoop. So the day comes, she had set this up on like maybe a Friday. And then she was like, I'm gonna give him your number. He's gonna hit you up. He hits me up. He's like, hey, this is whoop, whoop. And I would really love to meet you. Whoop, whoop, bae. So I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. I was like, yeah, she told me you were going to hit me up. Are you free Wednesday or Thursday? We can meet up then. Let's just get it out of the way. And I said, but I'm not going to lie. Like the first red flag has already occurred. And he's like, what? And I'm like, you got a whole ass Android. I can't be looking at these green text messages all day. He was like, I can't believe you just said that. I was like, well, we might as well be honest with each other. So anyways, it's getting closer to Thursday. I ended up having to switch it because of the little game night that didn't have enough food or alcohol. And so he's like, cool, let's do it Wednesday. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's meet there's a place next to my house. I'm always like, let's meet at Del Frisco's if I don't know somebody, because I go there all the time. The people know me. If it's bad, I'm just going to walk home. I'm not going to sit through it and be like, dang, now I'm just going to walk my black ass home. So he's like, do you know the place? And I was like, yeah, just let's meet at Del Frisco's. So he's like, okay, cool. So Wednesday comes, I start to get nervous. I call Miss Williams and I'm like, okay, it's coming up to the time. My ass is nervous. Is he tall? She's like, yeah, he's tall. I said, have you met him in person? She's like, well, I met him through video. And I was like, that is not
That's
the
not in
same.
person.
That is not in person. I said, is he at least taller than me? She's like, yeah, he is. I'm like, is he in shape? Is he chubby? She's like, no, he's in shape. I'm like, okay, does he know how to talk? What do his teeth look like? I start getting nervous because I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm just nervous. So I was like, does he know what I look like? She's like, no, it's a real blind date. He doesn't know what you look like either. And I was like, oh shit. Now I'm really nervous. What if he don't like me? I'm just assuming niggas like me.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, he hits me up. He's like, I'm running a little bit late. I'll be about 15 minutes late. I was like, okay, cool. Just let me know when you get there and I'll come over. He was like, okay, cool. So he gets there. He calls me. He's like, so we have a problem. I'm like, what? He's like, well, they're not taking any more. You had to make a reservation. And I didn't know that because I've been going there and you didn't have to make a reservation. So he was like, they said they have too many people in there right now and they don't want to have like more than 20 people or something and only 2 people could sit at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, they said we can't come. So I'm like, well, let me just call over there because they know me. Let me just see if I can pull something. He was like, okay, cool. So I call. I'm like, hey, what's up? It's Medina. Can y'all just let me and my friend come in there? It's a blind date and I'm really nervous. Like, I don't want to get kidnapped. They were like, no, bitch, you got to go somewhere else. I was like, dang, okay. So I call him back. I'm like, okay, we got to figure somewhere else out to go. Now, he's not from here, remember? He's from, I think, Michigan. So, and
he lives here. Okay.
But yeah. So we're on the phone and he's like, well, do you like Cheesecake Factory? My mouth dropped, Kiki.
You saw my eyes.
I said red flag number 2. This nigga just asked me if I want to go to Cheesecake Factory and I know y'all gonna go in on us because every time when we talk shit about Cheesecake Factory, y'all got something to say. But here is my take on it. Do I like the food at Cheesecake Factory? Absolutely. I love the avocado egg rolls. I love their ranch dressing. I love their french fries. That is like one of those places where you're like after church with your family, let's all take the family to cheese. That's not a first date. That's not even a 7th date. That's like we're comfortable together and now we're going to Cheesecake Factory. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, absolutely not. I said, meet me at Dantana's. So he's like, okay, cool. I was like, it's literally right around the corner. So I'm pulling up to Dantana's. Now I'm really nervous, bitch. I'm like, the nigga wanted to go to Cheesecake Factory. So I called my sister and I was like, Mac, I was like, this is not going to go right. I was like, I just want to turn around and go back home. She was like, well, what happened? I was like, he wants to go to Cheesecake Factory. She's like, Medina, just go. And even if it's bad, even if you don't like him, you're not attracted to him, just go and have a good time. I said, you know what? You're right. Let me stop tripping. Let me stop. I'm going to have a good time. I pull up. I see 2 men walking in. I knew he was right around the corner. So I knew one of these men was him. One had a 3-piece Steve Harvey suit on and the other was very small.
Did you know how old he was before the date?
Again?
Did you know how old he was before the date?
Kiki.
No, you didn't.
She told me he was in his 30s.
How old is he?
26.
Okay.
I didn't know this until we were sitting down there. So I'm like, well, if it's the little nigga, I can deal with it. I hope it's not this 3-piece Steve Harvey suit man. So I go inside. I'm still on the phone with my sister. She's like, I want to see what he looks like. Will you just show me what he looks like when you meet him? I was like, Mac, I can't do that. So girl, so the waiter's like, are you waiting on a gentleman? I was like, yeah. He was like, let me take you to him. So I go back there. He stands up. He's like, hey. He was like, Medina. I was like, yeah, hi. He's very little. He's like the size of a 5th grader. And I just said to myself, you know what, just have a good time. I just want you to have a visual, like the size of a 5th grader. So we sit down. He's like, it's really nice to meet you. I was like, it's so nice to meet you too. The waiter comes. They're like, we're not taking like single drink orders. You have to order a bottle. So I'm like, red flag number 3 is about to happen. And I was like, I looked at him. He was like, oh, it's nothing. He was like, order whatever bottle you want. And I was like, whoa. Made up for the Cheesecake Factory. So we order a bottle of wine. We ended up having a really great time. I can't even lie to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was little and he wasn't really my type, but I'm honestly starting to think that my type might not really be for me. We had great conversation. There weren't any awkward silences. He is super young. And while he looks like a little boy, he has grown man qualities. Like I was like,
that's good.
I mean, right? Like owns his house and he has a very historic, prominent Black family in Michigan. Like it was just, I was very impressed. Like, like I said, he was little, but he was fun. We had so much fun. And he invited me to a party that he was having at his house on Saturday. I ended up not going because some other stuff just came up, but we're supposed to hang out again. He was cool as shit. And I was like, if anything, we could be friends. I'm sick of just like writing niggas off because they're little.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with a friend. That's good that you had a good date. Even if it's gonna be your friend, but who knows? Now, would you be open to like actually being romantically involved? Maybe like after a few more dates and you see how things go, or is it just automatically friend zone, but we can kick it?
That whole thing cut out. What'd you say?
I said, so is it automatically like he's in the friend zone, or would you be open to like dating him on a romantic level?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know. Like, and it was funny because my mentor was like, well, if it doesn't work out with you, do you think you could, hook him up with one of your friends? And I was like, ooh, I don't think that would happen. But I was like, maybe one of my, like, there is a girl that I know of that it might work out with him, but I was like, I'm going to hang out with him one more time and then we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm open. I'm not like absolutely not. I'm just like, it's just different.
Yeah. It's hard when you meet somebody who is like nothing that you thought that you would be into. So it's like, okay, I don't want to harp on this, but it also wouldn't be fair if I knew that I was still harping on it. I'm not giving him a fair chance, so you kind of got to let him go sometimes. So it's hard to figure that out. I get it. Dang. Okay. Was that the only blind date you went on? I feel like you went on another one.
Did
I thought you had another date. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I've got you confused with somebody else.
Definitely. That was my only blind.
Did you have a regular date?
I had a little fly out date. But
well, no, I wasn't talking about that one. I was thinking that could be your cocktail. But no, I thought you had like, you didn't go anywhere, but you had like a virtual date or something. I thought it could be somebody else. I don't know. But I really thought you said you had like your first quarantine virtual date.
I think I was. No, that nigga asked me to go to Taco Mac, and I said absolutely not. I met a dude on Hinge. I met this guy on Hinge. My memory has been fucked up lately. So I met this guy on Hinge, and we started talking. He was like, "Can you just give me your phone number because this app ain't working?" And it really ain't. I go on Hinge like once every 3 weeks, and then somebody don't responded, and it's all late. I was like, "Here's my number." So we start texting. He's like, "I would love to take you out. Do you want to go to Taco Mac?" And I was like, "There's other places open."
Taco Mac. There's not even any games playing.
Bro, we're not going to Taco Mac. I want a vibe. Like, you can have the same price things like a Taco Mac and just go somewhere cuter.
You could. Or even somewhere possibly cheaper that's going to be better. I think sometimes when we talk about the places that we don't want to go, like Cheesecake Factory, Red Lobster, Taco Mac, Chain Rest, Olive Garden.
Applebee's.
Oh, Jesus. It's not about the price, y'all. It's about like the ambiance and the quality of the food and not getting your drinks that are mixed out of a jar that came from Cisco Food Services. It's just different. It's like, try something new, try something different, get out of your comfort zone. Let's go somewhere that neither of us have been, or let's find a little hole in the wall place. There's so many places that you can go. I was talking to a friend of mine. I haven't really been on dates. I've just been having sex. So not as exciting. I would like to go on a date. As soon as this is over, I don't really want to sit in a restaurant or anything. And then I was talking to a friend and we were talking about like romantic things that you can do right now or like dates that you can do right now. And I'm like, honestly, it's not a lot of options. I'm not that creative. And I'm just like, what? I've really been thinking for like 2 weeks. If somebody was to plan a romantic date for me during the quarantine season, what does that look like? I don't even know.
I mean, honestly, people be sleeping on the park. Like the park, you can do a lot of cute things in the park. And even if you don't want to be in the heat, if you do it at like sunset, you're good. Like, take out your little stuff, have your little blanket, and make sure you're really prepared. It can be a cute little date.
I'm okay with the park now, but in the beginning, I wasn't okay with the park because I have really bad allergies. Like, I don't mind a picnic date. I don't mind that. But I was just like, I don't really want to do shit outside because I'm going to wake up with puffy eyes. My nose is going to be running. My eyes are going to be red. I'm going to look crazy. I'm going to look like E.T. or something. But, now I will go to the park. You could go at different times. And it really hasn't been that hot here, at least. I don't know. Just watch the weather to make sure you don't get rained on. I'm trying to think of what else. I have done like some hangouts at the house. Not my house. Other places. And that has been fun. Like, we've done other stuff besides have sex, but I don't feel like it was a date. It was more like a hangout. And then I've been just trying to I've mostly done friend stuff, but then I was talking to some different friends, and people like you are really out here going on real dates. And I need the people to step it up.
Do you have a nice little team right now, Kiki?
I don't have a team at all, actually. I got to get a team, but I don't have a team. I just have, fortunately, I have friends who I can do other things with, but I ain't got no team. I need to recruit, but I've never really been good at juggling multiple men because it's like once one really has my attention, that's the one I like. And then once he gets on my nerves, I'm over it. And I really don't think about it that much. And then because I haven't been out to meet anybody. I'm not on the dating apps. I don't respond to a lot of my DMs. I'm just not meeting anybody, but I also haven't really I'll think about it when it's time to do the show and when we're talking and stuff. But then I'm like, girl, is that really what you want? Because if it was really what you want, you wouldn't be thinking about it once a week on Tuesdays. So I don't know, but no team for me. I don't know. When things change, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll have some more exciting updates besides just sucking and fucking. I'm sure y'all are tired of hearing about my sexcapades. It's not that interesting.
I'm sure they're not tired of hearing of it. They probably want to actually see it. You should start a fans only.
Only fans. You know what? I've been thinking about it.
Me too. How about the girl that works in one of the leasing agents in my apartment building? She got a OnlyFans. Girl, I was cracking up.
She told you about it?
She told me about it. And I was like,
so what was she like? Subscribe now.
No, she was letting some of my girlfriends up to the pool. And she was like, oh, when they came in, she was like, oh, the girl was like, that's Medina. I follow her on Instagram. And then I got on Instagram. She had slid in my DMs and was like, hey, I brought your friends up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I went to her page and it said it in the
description
profile. Yeah. I was like, oh, and then I asked her about it. I was like, you want fans only? She was like, She was like, I do nude art. And I was like, that's what we calling it?
Nude art. I was going through some of my old sex videos. And I was like, this is some good stuff in here. But unfortunately, I have a tramp stamp. And a scar right by my tramp stamp. And I mean, I don't know who would watch it and actually care. But I'm like, I don't know. But if I could figure out a way, maybe I need a mask like Hadusa.
Maybe.
That shit is ugly. I would never. But I could get some kind of mask or something. I don't know. I was like, I told myself if I lose my job or if I start going broke, I'm making it. I'm going to have to make a whole new Instagram and Twitter to promote it. I don't know what my alter ego name is going to be. I got to come up with something. I asked some friends for some help before. We didn't figure it out quite yet. But yeah, I would. But you just wouldn't see my face. You would only see
my face either, unless
very graphic fucking scenes. Yeah. But right now, I'm not making no money off of them. It's just for my memories. The spank bank.
Do you have any crazy things you've done during quarantine?
I feel like I have. I'm trying to remember what I told on here. And what I didn't, I feel like I told everything on here. I would say the craziest thing I did was have sex with one of my girlfriends. That wasn't planned. What else did I do that was crazy? I have not been acting out. I haven't been doing any sort of pop-ups. I ain't got nobody pop up on. I have just really been being calm and relax, and I am happy because I keep getting this urge to go out and do some crazy shit, but I don't know what that would be. And like, by crazy, I mean like sexual crazy, not like go key somebody's car type thing.
Okay.
So I haven't done it, but I keep getting the urge and I'm getting bored. And I know that's what it is. It's because I'm bored. If I wasn't bored, I wouldn't be going through this. And then it's like, oh, maybe I want to send like random people pictures and stuff. And I'll do that. Or videos. And it's like,
Because, bruh, I've been thinking about wanting to have a train ran on me. And I know that in my real mental, I don't want that. It's just quarantine is making me think of all these crazy things. It's like, it's the last day on earth. Just do it all. I don't really want to do that shit. It's the quarantine getting to me.
A train? How many trailers on the train?
Just 2.
Oh, just 2.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, y'all don't have to slide in my DMs and be like, I got the 2 niggas. I'm not really going to do it, but I have thought about it and it's made my pussy wet. Like normally I think about it, I'm like, ew, that's disgusting. Now I've been thinking about it. I'm like, maybe. Choo-choo.
I will say this, I guess this was a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. What is time anymore anyway, you know? But, this guy hit me up and he invited me to go to this, like, I guess we could call it a resort. I don't know. It's not here. It's somewhere out. I can't remember where they said it was, but it's still in Georgia, I think. And it's these little resorts, and every little suite villa thing has its own pool and like jacuzzi and sauna. And like he was sending me pictures of it, and he was doing a surprise for his wife. So he wanted me to be the birthday surprise and invited me to go on the trip. I didn't go. I was still at home. No, it has passed. This was a while ago.
Oh.
This is just during the quarantine season. But yeah, he invited me. I didn't go. But it did seem fine. But I was just like, oh, unfortunately, I can't make it. Mother Nature is hating on me, and I don't think that's the kind of surprise anybody would want on their birthday. Maybe another birthday. maybe Juneteenth. Maybe, yeah, 4th of July.
Day.
You know, anything else. But that week wasn't a good week for me. But that's probably the craziest thing that I was asked to do that I didn't do. Everything else was like my normal level of crazy, I think. Did anything crazy happen to you?
Will say, I feel like I've used 2 opportunities to share a cocktail, but I'm just going to share this now. So if I read a cocktail, I don't want to hear nothing because this kind of counts as one. So
I don't want to hear nothing. Well, we'll see how juicy this gets.
So we go to the lake on Sunday, and one of my girlfriends, her friend, he just got a boat and he's never taken it out. So she hits him up like, hey, me and my girls, we want to just go on a boat. He's like, all right, cool. I'll get it ready. Y'all come down to Lake Lanier and we'll just ride around. So we go, and it was so much fun. I wasn't knowing what to expect. But so we go up, and it's like everybody's super country. I went with some of my white girlfriends, and everybody was, the guys that we met up with, they were super country. I don't say that in a bad way, just so everybody can get like a little visual. So
like looking or sounding country?
Looking and sounding, like to the point where, you know how just sometimes you go in your black mind and you're like, fuck, I hope y'all like black people. I have a very open mind, but I would be lying if that didn't cross my mind. I was like, I really hope they like black people because we going on a boat. So we get on the boat, and I was like, hey, everybody, I'm Medina. We're all talking. We brought drinks and some snacks, and, you know, we're sailing around Lake Lanier, having a good old time. Everybody was like jumping in the lake and stuff. It was a lot of fun. All the guys ended up being really cool. There's this one guy that I saw, and he was super country, like talk like this, and he was like, nice to meet you. He had long, like, kind of like long hair, like just country. He was like, so we were talking about like weed and stuff. And I told him I had done ayahuasca and we were talking about ayahuasca. And he was like, oh, that's cool. I never did that. Anyways, we were talking. I'm like, something is really cute about this man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm drunk or if I'm just like seeing the true beauty in people during quarantine. Kiki. After we were done sailing around on the lake, like we all go back to the cars. They got big old trucks and stuff.
Of course.
And we're going to get food. They done brought the dogs. The dogs is in the car. I was like, the dogs gonna be okay. They were like, yeah, we're just gonna leave the car running while we're in there eating. So we go get food and then we leave. Like, well, where are we going to next? We were going to someone's house. I can't remember. I'm like, I'll just get in the car with you. So I get in the car with him. Go, do you know I was swapping spit with this man almost the whole ride? I just looked into his deep blue country eyes and I said, can I kiss you? And I was just really feeling the moment. And I took advantage of that moment. He was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And then one of his friends was in the car and he goes, you're real cute for a black girl. And then it changed the whole mood. I said, oh, now I got to school this nigga. I said, what? He was like, I said, you're not supposed to say so. The guy that I was kissing didn't say that. His friend said it. And then the guy that I was kissing was like, yeah, bro, you can't be saying stuff like that. I was like, oh, look at Bay having my back. Country Bay. He was really cute, though. He was country, but he was cute.
Okay. So then what happened?
That was it.
Girl, that is not a cocktail, but that's a good story.
He tried to come over, and I was like, I started to sober up after that. You cute for a black girl. Yeah.
Oh, well. Did y'all exchange numbers or anything? Like, would you see him again?
Did. And I left my hat in his car.
Oh, damn. You gonna see him again?
But he got two baby mamas. It's done. It was too much. I was like, dang, you nigging too.
Girl. I don't even know what to say about that.
It was crazy. It was literally crazy. I was like, why did I do that? Quarantine. I'm blaming it all on quarantine.
Yeah, I feel like anything I do during this time that I regret, I'm just going to blame it on that. I am pleading temporary mental insanity. I obviously wasn't in my right mind. But, so far, I don't think I've really done too much that I regret. So I'm doing all right. But we still got time because I figure, to me, quarantine ain't over until I go back to work. And I don't know when that's going to be, which I'm fine with. I'm very thankful. I've been asking to work from home for a long time. So throughout this time, I will say a lot of niggas from the past have been coming back.
Oh, creep.
Yeah, and they need to beep and back it on up and go back to whatever they were doing before. Like, these are not guys that I want to do over with, that I want any sort of anything with, to be honest. So this one guy the other day, I don't know what day it was, but it was relatively recently. So he hits me up and it was a friendly conversation. I honestly thought he was blocked, but I guess not. So he was being friendly, nothing inappropriate. We have a friendly conversation in school. He said he was checking on me. Okay, cool. So then that happened a few weeks ago. So he's done that maybe once a week. Whatever. Sometimes I'm bored and I do want to talk to somebody. This is jail talk. Like I told y'all in the beginning, like, it's fine. I appreciate, I'm welcoming calls, or at least I was. So anyway, he hits me up. He says all of this. And then more recently, he hit me up about my plans for this past weekend, Memorial Day. So I said, oh yeah, we barbecued the other day and I have all this leftover food, blah, 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 but I didn't really take any of the sides. And I'm just telling him like I would be talking to any of my friends. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm about to go to the store and get some stuff. So he was like, oh, I want some. And I said, well, you can come by and pick it up. I'll give it to you. You're not coming inside because I think you've been around too many people. But I'll give it to you. He was like, oh, I wanted you to bring it by. I said, oh, so you think this is Uber Eats? And so he was like, Uber Eats, except you would be doing more. And so I was like, doing more like what? I'll let you know when I get, and then I said, well, I'll let you know when I get back from the store and what else I'm making and see if you want some to come get. And he was like, I'm surprised you didn't shut me down when I said I'm doing more. I said, well, obviously doing more, if I was crazy enough to go over to your house, it's just going to be to sit down and watch TV. I'm not and eat the food. I'm not doing shit else with you. And so he was like, he he didn't say anything for a while, and then he responds, Kiara, when are we gonna cut the bullshit and get back to fucking? Excuse me? Why did you think that I wanted to fuck you? Yeah, so I blocked him. But I'm just like, you thought that was gonna be the way to get me to fuck you? Because right now I'm pretty easy. Easier than I've ever been in my life. So I don't know why you would say something like that. You had a better chance of just trying me. I still wasn't gonna fuck him. But you had a better chance of trying to fuck me if I came over there or if you came over here than to say, when are we gonna cut the bullshit and get back to fucking? I'm sorry that whatever plans you had for quarantine didn't work out and you're missing this over here, but it's not available to you. Your pass has been revoked. Access denied. That was like the most outlandish. But then there's been other guys who just hit me up and they're like, oh, I want to see you. If I come to Atlanta, can we like link up? I saw that they have places open. No, we can't link up because I don't want to. And you should know that. And it's like, why is it the people like this? They're just all dumb. And it just reminded me of why I stopped talking to them in the first place. They're dumb. Really fucking dumb.
I had an ex hit my mom up. 6A bae hit my mom up on Mother's Day. And it really confused me to tell her Happy Mother's Day. And I was just like, my mom told me maybe like a couple days later. And I was like, why? Like, what are you doing? Like, I'd be looking at stuff like, yeah, like, what was the point? Like, you don't want to get back together. That's nice of you. But like, that's going to like, in my mind, be like, is that a sign? Why the fuck would you do that?
That makes no sense at all. I would have been mad. Were you mad? Or
I was just confused.
I would be mad and annoyed. Like, either be in my life or get out. And you don't want to be in my life. So there's no reason for you to be talking to my mama. No reason for you to reach out to my siblings. None of that. I don't know. I wonder what his deal is. Why would he do that?
I don't know. But Hannah bought a spell book off of Amazon. It's called Bad Witches. And we're going to do a spell. And I'll tell you if it works.
What?
Look, you guys, it's quarantine. Remember we said what crazy shit are we doing? That's another crazy thing. We're going to do a spell.
You're going to do a spell. Candles. Okay, so what do you do with this? Is it just like words, or do you have to get like a certain type of candle, oil, crystal, feather?
You have to we already have the crystals. We have to get candles, and then I think that's it. We would get a certain type of candle though. We already have like the bowl.
Record this or a bonus episode. And then do an update later and see if it worked or not. I've heard of this stuff before. It's not like totally left field to me.
That's a really good idea.
But I've never seen somebody really do a real spell. I've seen like small rituals, which I guess are kind of spells too, but it's not so specific. But I remember this psychic I used to go to with my aunt. She would be like, come to the psychic fair with me. Come to the psychic fair. So one of them, there's a store. I think it's called Rondo's. It's in downtown Atlanta. They sell all that kind of stuff. They sell the books. They sell the crystals. They sell these different candles that are for different things. They have like spell boxes and potion boxes where it has all of the stuff together already, and the people in there, they can tell you what to get. And I was just like, wow, this is really crazy. I just
wonder if it really works.
Well, girl, this is all I can say about it. I am familiar with a lot of like spells and things. So be careful. Just be careful.
It says that in the book. It says like you shouldn't. Obviously, it's not to like wish harm on anyone, because it says if you do that, then it comes back 3 times harder. We're not wishing harm on. Like, we're not killing that nigga, and then we're gonna see on the news 6A bae dead in the creek. No.
Well, yeah, no. I'm just saying the door that it can open for other things. But I would love to hear about this. I can't wait to hear about the update. To possibly see a video if y'all decide to record it, or if you don't. I don't know if that'll fuck up the spell or not. But I want to know what happens and what the process is. That's interesting.
I'll update y'all.
Oh gosh, Medina out here casting spells on niggas. Lord have mercy. Who would have thought? I haven't had anything that crazy going on. That's it for me.
Lord.
Do you have anything else?
I don't have nothing else.
Okay, well, on that note, we will move on to Indecisive Diane.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
All right, Diane. So, what cute little date idea do you have for everybody as we still sit here looking at our four walls in quarantine?
Hey ladies, it's me, Indecisive Diane. And here's the deal. I don't know where you're at, but if they've opened your pool up, that at least gives you a little bit of safety leeway to go do something with your boo. Maybe your pool isn't open, but maybe Bay's pool is. Maybe he lives in the hood, but that's okay. It's still a pool. Go to the pool, lay out, get in the water, grill a little bit, have some drinks, bring the hookah, have some fun. There you go. It's a cute little date idea. You know, here's what I like. The one thing I like about quarantine is it forces people to have creative dates. It forces people to get to know each other. So even if your pool isn't open, get to know who you're with, because I guarantee you don't know him.
Thanks, Diane.
Okay. So now we're back from Indecisive Diane, and it is time for advice. So I printed out two already, two. I printed out two already. Remember, if you guys want to send any questions in that you want us to answer, send them to askcocktails@gmail.com. And then also, if you have questions specific about us trying to get in our business, Q&As for us, remember today at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be on Patreon, or we'll be live for the patrons. If you're a patron member, you'll see a message with the information to log into the live. It'll be on Zoom. So make sure you sign up if you haven't already. All right. So the first one I have the two I printed out. The subject lines are Quarantine Woes from Australia and Important and Please Don't Judge. So I'm going to read the Quarantine Woes from Australia first.
Hello, mate.
Hey, ladies, this is going to be kind of long. I'm sorry, but it's quite complicated, and I want to give you all the details. It's long, but it ain't as long as some of these. All right. I'm 23. I'm 23 and still in uni and working part-time. I started seeing a 29-year-old man at the start of February. Everything was going great. We would hang out every weekend and have amazing sex and conversations and felt really comfortable around each other. He's super respectful and kind, which is such a change as the other men I've interacted with have been major fuckboys. So things were really going good between us, and he was really showing me how interested he was in me. And then Corona came around, and we went into a major lockdown. We've been in lockdown now since the end of March. Over this time, we've barely spoken, with me starting the few conversations we've had and him not sounding very invested in the conversation. So I just stopped persisting and let us not talk for weeks. He's a tattoo artist and hasn't been able to work during this time, which I know has been a big hit for him, especially with financial concerns as he's renting and his family is on the other side of the country. So a few weeks ago, I finally messaged him and asked what was up with the silence, and if he's not interested in me anymore, then just tell me. He replied saying he was still interested and that he was sorry for making me feel that way and that he'd love to see me when we can again. As of last week, the lockdown laws were lessened, now allowing people to go see their friends in small groups. Yet he still hasn't asked to see me. A few days ago, we were talking over Messenger and things got heated and ended up sexting. Oh, I thought heated as in angry. Heated as in, okay. And ended up sexting and him asking me for nudes. So, of course, I obliged. He was saying shit like, I want to fuck you so bad. You make me so horny. I wish you were here right now. Yet he still hasn't fucking asked for me to come over. I am so confused. He said he wants to see me, but now he can and still hasn't asked. I am just so goddamn confused and would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this whole thing and what I should do. I'm trying to be understanding and realize he has been hit a lot harder by all this than I have, and I still work and I still live with my family, so I don't have rent and bills to worry about. But goddamn, I just want some dick so bad. We're both highly sexual, and when we are together, we have lots of sex, so the complete lack of sex has been driving me insane. Lots of love from Australia. That's it.
Well, Australia, I'm here to tell you today that he is not going to change. I'm not going to say he doesn't like you, but he's not going to change. I feel like when you start to show a dude like you care too much that they are not showing you the attention that maybe you're used to or that you want, they're going to keep that same energy because you're the one who keeps pressing the issue. So why do they even need to? And you've already fucked him. Not that you've done anything wrong, but I don't think you can like retrain him to start acting a certain way because he's not your nigga. Y'all just fucking. So I think in his mind, he's probably like, well, when I want to fuck you, I'll fuck you. When I don't, there's no reason for us to be talking.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Very valid. But I also will say, just because, you know, y'all were on a super lockdown, he hasn't been working. He might be broke as fuck right now. He might have had to be staying with a friend and didn't want to tell you because he doesn't want you to be like, oh my God, he's broke. Like, why is he sleeping on his friend's couch? He might not have anywhere to invite you over to, which is why he is sending those messages. Or he could be staying with some girl or staying somewhere else. Like, I would take the fact that he ain't been working in months into consideration, because I know that guys, a lot of times when they are going through it and they weren't going through financial problems before, they really shut down. You pressing the issue isn't going to help it. If he wants to come around, he will. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. And you just move on. I get that you're horny, but you need to buy a toy.
Buy a toy. But don't keep pressing it. Whichever one it ends up being. You just don't want to be that annoying bitch.
Take a breather.
Yeah. Okay. This one says, from abstinence to a hoe phase. Help. She says, hi, Kiki and Medina. I'm 22 years old and I haven't had sex in about 2.5 years now. I haven't had sex simply because I haven't enjoyed my sexual experiences for real. I was in college and I think niggas just wanted their nut and didn't listen to what I do and don't like. I've never had an orgasm from someone else, and overall, it just hasn't been the best experience for me. I want to give it another try by going through what everyone calls a hoe phase, because I want to get more sexual experience and really learn about what I like and try new things in bed. I'm pretty sure my clit cries whenever it sees my vibrator at this point. Plus, I feel like I need to get this out of my system before I decide to settle down, or I'll regret it. I'm moving to Texas soon, San Antonio for a year, Houston or Dallas afterwards. And my question to you is, my question to you is, in a city where I don't know anybody, how would I go about going through a hoe phase and being safe at the same time? Like, does this phase mean one night stands, or do I actually get to know a person? And even when I do, where do we have sex in case I don't want them to know my address? I guess what I'm asking is, what are some overall tips you have for someone wanting to go through a hoe phase from a sexual health to me? What are some overall tips for someone wanting to go through a hoe phase from sexual health to meeting people to different friend groups to safety? Thank you guys. And I love your podcast. Thanks, girl, for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. I would say, going through a hoe phase and casual sex, let's just be honest, it's really not that safe. As safe as you try to be, if you're meeting strangers, you're going to different people's houses or inviting them over, even if you go to like a hotel or something, going through the whole phase, you have to assume that risk. You also, I don't know if you heard the episode with Janelle from the STI Project a few weeks ago. She really did a good job of talking to us and explaining how herpes can be transmitted whether you're using protection or not. So you need to be sure that you're okay with the risk that you're taking. You need to be comfortable with talking to these people and asking questions so that you're not having to ask or hunt people down on the back end. And then as far as meeting people goes, right now it's hard to get out and be social, but and I forgot. Did she say where she lives?
She's moving to Texas.
She's
San
moving
Antonio.
to Texas. Okay, well, I don't know what's out there, but I would suggest dating apps. That's a quick way to meet people. Most of the people on there seem to want to hook up anyway. You'll probably have better luck with just a fuck buddy than you would with finding your husband on a dating app. I would just try different ones and just be open-minded. But when it comes to being safe and where do you go, if you don't want them to know where you live, do you really want to fuck that person? I don't know. And you can go through a whole phase and just go to their place, or you can get to know somebody a little bit so that you at least feel comfortable with them. You don't just have to go out there and hand out your pussy to everybody, you know? Maybe slow down until you are comfortable with it, because that is a risk that you take. Or go to a hotel and turn your location on to your friends, so at least somebody can see you. I do that a lot.
Mm-hmm. I will definitely agree with Kiki on that. I don't think hoe phase and being safe really go in the same sentence, because it's just not safe. Y'all have heard some of the stories
being
I've told.
Selectively safe. Like, you can only be a little bit safe.
Yeah, you can only be a little bit safe, and you are risking it. So it's like the times that I was being hoey, there have definitely been some times where I'm like, wow, I could have died. I met someone off of Craigslist, my nigga. I could have definitely been a news story. So it's like, I don't think they go hand in hand. I think for you to have the hoe phase that you're wanting, girl, if you meet somebody, wherever you meet them, whether it be an app, in person, you slide in some DMs, or you had your eye on a nigga and you just gonna shoot your shot.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like having sex, you have the sex. You don't even think about it. That's really what happens. You just don't. If you're trying to have like your true hoe phase, you're not like, oh my God. You might be like, do you have a condom? But other than that, you're just being a hoe.
I don't think the hoe phase is for you, girl. And I'm just being honest. I really don't. I think that you need to find a friend that you can have casual sex with and go about it that way. And that'll probably loosen you up. And then you can figure out, is this really what I want? Or do I actually just want no strings attached sex? I don't know that you want to just be out here fucking everybody, but good luck to you. If you make any good cocktails, send them in to our email, and maybe one of us will read it on the show. Okay. I have another one. This says, important and please don't judge. She sent pictures.
We would never judge you, girl.
Okay. Hey, ladies, let's talk. Oh, I reunited with a past love back in December, and while we were never official, things were great. He wants to date for real this time and then eventually become a couple. I'm cool with that. Meanwhile, I need help. I keep self-sabotaging myself, comparing myself to his ex and checking his social media for new female followers and creating fake stories in my head that's not even happening. This guy is the love of my life, and I don't know why I don't feel secure. I've never had this problem before. He always I can't talk today. He always compliments me. We spend time together. We laugh, we joke, and the sex is great. I need help. He opened up and told me my overthinking is getting the best of me and pushing him away. I have to fix this. Where do I start? I am in therapy, but those are baby steps. It's hard because I really don't have family to turn to. It's me and my friends. Of course, they tell me how amazing I am and I should relax. I just need to be more confident. I don't know why I'm not. P.S. Here's a picture to put a face with the mess I've created. I've also attached one of us. Signed, Crazy in Love.
Oh, crazy in love. Girl, got me looking so crazy right now. I feel like it is all... I'm queen of overthinking, and 9 times out of 10, the times when I do overthink, it's always me doing just that. And every once in a while, I'm not talking about like an energy vibe, you have a bad vibe, but when you're doing stuff like that, you got to get yourself together. Like, I don't know if you need to meditate. I don't know if you need to not have a boyfriend right now, which is sometimes hard to accept, but that is definitely like a you gotta be strong in the way you feel about yourself so that you're not worried about no other bitches or your nigga leaving you.
Yeah, like if he is telling you that he wants to date and he's open to a relationship and you're checking his Instagram followers, what does that mean? Like, really ask yourself, when you go on his page and you see it's a new girl following him, what does that really mean? That doesn't mean that anything is going on between them. It's niggas I fucked and I don't follow them. So that's not where your head should be right now, checking little things like that. Maybe you feel like it's too good to be true, and that's why you keep self-sabotaging, and it's like you're gonna fuck it up before he can fuck it up, so then you just end it first. I don't know, but you've got to learn to relax and live in the moment and enjoy him and his company. Stop overthinking everything, and if you can't calm down, you probably just need to take some time away from him. Like Medina said, this might not be the time for you to date. There may be something going on with you that's deeper inside. And the same thing will happen if you start dating somebody else. So work on you. Try to calm down and relax. Enjoy the moment. And if he's not doing anything and it's just you and you know that you're creating this stuff in your head, have a glass of wine and relax. Please.
Yeah. And we all been there, girl. I don't want to sound like we judging you, because I done been there before, but you got to snap out of it. That's shit, because you won't have any successful relationship if you carry on like that. You won't just be happy. You'll be very sad.
Okay, do you have another one?
I do. So this one says, I just want to experiment. Hey, Kiki and Medina. So I've been with my boyfriend half of my life, and he's the only man I have ever been with. I don't like the sex, and I have never had an orgasm. Recently, I've become curious about what it would be like to have one. I know what you're going to say. Try different things with him. It don't work. I hate to be eaten out by him. Ooh, it's bad when you get to that point. It don't turn me on at all. No matter what position we try, I barely feel it. Yes, he is small. And no matter what he do, I don't get turned on. Normally, the men at my job I ignore, but this one man, he came in with mandingo vibes. I tried so hard to ignore him, but I just could not resist for too long. I recently started fucking with him on the side, and it's a whole different experience when I'm with him.
I bet.
I normally like to be fingered or ate out, but when he do it, I'm doing all types of moans. Side note, I barely get wet with my boyfriend, but I'm like a waterfall with this other dude. I don't want to be with the guy. I just enjoy fucking him. I say this to ask, should I try to figure out how to work it out with my boyfriend or try experimenting a little more? Still have not had an orgasm, but I feel it will happen when we can stop doing quickies and take our time. Oh, girl. Look. The signs are there. You're not into your boyfriend anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how old you are, but half your life is a long fucking time. No matter how old you are. Like, the older you are, the crazier it is that you've been together half your life. And sometimes, you got to break up. Everybody deserves to have good sex. I really and truly believe that. And if he can't give it to you, well, you got two options. Keep cheating or let him go. And I feel like you're not even going to be able to enjoy the sex with the other man because you're going to be thinking about your boyfriend who's not dicking you down right. You might need to break up with this ass.
You might.
I probably would. And not to go, don't try and jump and be with Mandingo Dick over there, because that's probably not the one either, but that's going to be a good time. And maybe you should just try some other things if you've already talked to your boyfriend and you've already tried a bunch of different things, or ask him for an open relationship. You know your man better than I do. I don't know if he'll be into that, but a few guys are. Good luck. Send us in a cocktail about Mandingo
Good luck,
Dick.
girl.
I want to hear a cocktail.
Yeah, I hope it works out. But leave your nigga. You don't like him.
You don't, because you. Okay, so that's it for the advice, and now we're gonna move on to our cocktails. Remember, if you want to share a cocktail with us, you can send it to cocktails.atl@gmail.com.
long ago, I was a hoe.
Okay, Medina, do you have a sex story to share?
I do not have a sex story to share. Do you?
I will read an email.
I thought
Okay.
I had a cocktail, but it wasn't a cocktail. I'm glad I ain't shared as a cocktail.
That one was kissing the man at the lake. I'm glad you didn't either. But that was something. Okay. So this person writes in and they say, "Hey ladies, I've been enjoying you all for a little while now. I truly enjoy it. Kiki, I still say your mantra in the morning during meditation." Oh, good. Medina, I am here for your IG stories. You all are best friends in my head. I'll warn you, this is a long read. So ladies, I got some quarantine peen. I've been swiping left and right out of boredom like most during this time. I met a guy on Bumble. I'm 34. He's 43. We're both from the DC area. We chatted for about a week and he would ask if I would come over. I declined several times until I said, why not? So one Friday, he cashed out me money to pick up groceries for dinner and to pick up some liquor. He nicely volunteered my cooking skills. He's tall, light-skinned, cool dude. I get to his place. It was such a vibe. Oh, did I mention he's a principal? Anyway, he's blasting music, everything from Young Jeezy to Ari Lennox to Drake. He was smoking hookah and drinking cognac. He said he had to go shower, but wanted us to take shots before he did. I ain't no punk, so I took 3 shots of Douce. I cooked while he showered. He got out of the shower and came back and joined me in the kitchen. He stood behind me and began kissing on my neck and grabbing on my breast. He told me to take the salmon off the stove before it burned. I obliged. We took another shot and he led me to the couch where he pulled down my pants and started eating me out. I was in heaven. He then laid me on the ground to eat me out some more and told me to ride his face. I'm a big girl and was hesitant, but the drinks had kicked in and I said, fuck it. That quickly turned into a bomb 69. Oh. After that, we went to the bedroom. When we got to the bedroom, we had some Bel Air rosé and he spread out on the bed. I began to give him head. He kept easing my head down to his balls and to the gooch and eventually his asshole. Ooh. Yes, y'all, I ate some booty. Not only did I eat some booty, he let me put some digits in there. Ooh. He came shortly after that. I bet he did. But he wasn't done. He asked to tie me up and I let him. He tied my arms up and blindfolded me. We have a safe word just in case. He poured rosé on my hot naked body and licked it off and began to eat my pussy again. I lost count of how many times I came. We fucked and sucked all night. We finally went to sleep. However, I was awakened in the morning with him eating my pussy. So we fucked again. Then we fucked in the shower and then fucked again when we got out the shower. He made me breakfast. We talked about local news and he sent me on my way. I was shook as I was not expecting to have sex all day and all night. My whole body was sore for at least 2 days. I have seen him again and it was just as memorable as the first night. Love you, ladies. Well, I'm glad somebody is getting digged down.
I miss getting digged down. I promise you, I'm going to come back. I'm going to get back in the game and I'm going to come back strong.
I hope so. You can go that way.
I'll pray for me, y'all. Okay. This one says quarantine. Hey, ladies, I've been listening for over a year and I finally have a cocktail worth sharing. Okay. Let me get straight to it. My on again, off again, back on again, off again, FWB. Let's call him Khalil. Khalil. Khalil and I planned a before work rendezvous. So I shower and throw on my robe and wait for him. Khalil comes in, bites something, and says, "Here, eat this." I'm like, the big eyes. What's that? He likes. Wait. What's that? He like, just eat it. I'm like, don't come here giving me drugs. I got to go to work. But I gave in and I ate it. Just a little piece. He hops in the shower. So I'm laying there texting. He comes out the shower, towel around his waist, and immediately went in on me. I'm like, damn, boy. I was in the middle of texting. He like finished texting. Then as he ripped opened my robe and pulled me to the edge of the bed and devoured me. I put the phone down and it was on. Khalil had me in so many positions, hanging off the bed, picking me up, me writing missionary, pulling it out, eating it again. When I say we did all we did all. Sweat dripping. We was at it for a while, to the point where I'm like, all right, nigga, you ain't come yet? We do it doggy style. And the nigga finally comes. Me and my kitty, LOL, were both relieved. Afterwards, I'm like, damn, nigga, you trying to kill my ass, literally. He was like, I knew that was going to happen. He said it was the edible. That he gave me a piece of, and the blunt that had him going ham on my ass. Whew, laughing my ass off. I'm not even mad. I risked Rona for bomb ass quarantine. I know how irresistible of me. Oh, irresponsible of me. Hope you enjoyed my cocktail. Bye, ladies. Sent from my iPhone. At least one of us is getting dick down.
I mean, people have been risking the Rona to get some sex. It is a basic. It's an essential need, an essential thing in my life. Yeah, you have to do it at least 4 times. So sorry,
Y'all get it. Kiki and listeners, I'm gonna get back on strong. I told y'all when this shit is up, I'm fucking.
You told us you was gonna be celibate.
Feelings.
You changed your mind.
I did tell you.
You did not tell us you were gonna be fucking. You said you was gonna be celibate. I told you, please. Which one's it gonna be?
I'm horny. I'm so horny. When I drive and just push the gas a little bit, my vagina is like, "Ooh, is that some dick coming?" And it's not. You've never used your thighs a lot, and then you can feel it in your vagina. That happens when I get my hair done. Also,
what? No, but what does happen when I get waxed and they start rubbing that oil on me? I'm like, girl, watch those hands. Are you trying to give me a happy ending? Wait a minute. But yeah, no. Okay, well, remember, you guys, if you're listening to this early enough, you will catch us on Patreon. Or if you're a patron, you can catch us on a Zoom call with you guys. We'll be live taking questions and playing a couple of games today, Thursday, 7:30 Eastern. If not, sign up for Patreon anyway. We have bonus content on there. You can check out different videos and stay in touch with us. Yeah, so until next week, you guys. Bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Population. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the track. Bye. 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 Goodbye. Bye. 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 Population. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Wait on the track.